Before I started the program, I had like 2 months of feeling sick every day, with having watery diarrhea, and cramping, and just nausea, and I just felt lousy. And I'd had irritable bowel syndrome, where it was diagnosed back in my 20s, back when I was in college. And I'm now in my late 60s. It's a long, long time. And it was like, it's now to the point where I can't live with it. I was actually, well, maybe too much information, but I would wake up in the middle of the night and realize I was messing my bed, and it was like, okay, I can't keep doing this. And Yeah, I saw Brooke's commercial on YouTube, and for some reason I thought, man, there's hope. At least somebody's telling me to do something different than take Imodium and fiber and drink lots of water. It's like, uh, I was ready for anything that would give me hope of feeling better. I two years ago, yeah, about 2 years ago, maybe three, bought an RV, a camper van, and really wanted to be doing a lot of traveling. And at least 3 times in the first year and a half, I had accidents on the drive. I couldn't get to a bathroom fast enough, or I couldn't get to a place to pull over the van to even use my own bathroom. There was one time it was so bad I had to throw out my clothes because it was like, this is just awful, just awful. And I didn't know, how many more times I could deal with that. It's very distressing when you're losing control of your bowels. It's very distressing. It was just, living with Imodium as my constant companion. Sometimes I would take it prophylactically, that just in case I would be in a situation where I knew there wasn't going to be a bathroom, or it could be a long time. And then I did the taking fiber, and sometimes that seemed to help, and then other times it just didn't matter. Irritable bowel is something that runs in my family. My mother and my sister also have it. They have the opposite problem of constipation. And, I was grateful when I was constipated. Well, there's some control. And nutrition, watching my diet, that kind of thing. I could never figure out what it was I was eating that was a trigger. It just, I had not figured it out. I tried gluten-free for a while. And it maybe worked for the first couple of weeks, and then after that, it was just back to normal. I was pleasantly surprised that I felt significantly better within the first 10 days. I had to wait to get the stool test done because when I started the program, I had been on antibiotics for diverticulitis. And so I had to wait a couple of weeks for that to get out of my system. So I was just on the beginning level supplements, and even that made a significant difference. I started feeling like myself again. I started feeling like I had energy. I wasn't in constant distress in my abdomen. I was pleasantly surprised, and I knew that there was more to come, maybe even better, after getting the results from the stool test. I was really, really anxious to find out what the heck is going on in my body, and can we figure out what to do with it. So yeah, I felt significantly better, had more energy, and I wasn't feeling like I had to take Imodium before I left the house. I could leave and be confident I'd be okay. I would say give the program a try. The in the beginning, I think what I got most out of the program, before I felt the symptoms were alleviating, I felt hope. In hearing Brooke's story, and that there was a solution, and hearing other women's stories, that gave it a lot of credibility. That people's lives were changing, their health was improving, they were becoming more active and less fearful, not no longer being homebound. All of that gave me a whole lot of hope, and that to me will carry me for a long time, if I have hope of things improving.
Yeah.
So I'm very grateful, very grateful.